Introducing a novel application for BIM synchronization with cloud-based dashboards, a step toward BIM analytics. We present a new application that synchronizes building information modeling, BIM, with a fully cloud-based dashboard. This application is not merely a syncing tool, but a sophisticated third-party operator for Revit, enabling the creation of assessment sets for each modeled facility in Revit. Thus said, it allows for assessing completion, work progress payments, deliverable risk management, and constraint analysis. The app creates Revit views corresponding to each assessment set, synchronizes a BIM model with a cloud environment by creating a distinct database for each assessment set, and stamps a unique ID on each BIM element by clicking this button. This is one of the distinct databases for each assessment set. In this case, this database corresponds to the completion assessment set, located in the folder labeled BIM 2024. The assessment sets, aforementioned, allow for evaluating BIM elements such as columns, walls, and so forth, in terms of exclusive states, enabling statistical modeling based on combinatorial analysis, Markov chain analysis, and more, which will be explored in another presentation. The database location is determined within the application, which displays the available cloud folders for synchronization. In this example, the BIM 2024 folder has been selected, along with the synchronization timing. As previously explained, the application generates a database within this folder, and any change in the state of a deliverable in the BIM model is recorded in the synchronized database. For illustration, consider a BIM model where each BIM element is assigned a unique ID. Every BIM element is a deliverable to be completed, meaning that all its technical requirements, for example, concrete strength, have been complied with. In this sense, achieving quantities such as the amount of concrete cubic meters does not necessarily mean completing the elements related to that concrete amount. Within the completion assessment set, green indicates completed elements, or just called OK state, yellow denotes work in progress, or WIP state, and gray represents elements not yet started. The example shows small columns on the roof of the facility with elements in gray, yellow, and green. While such representation might not be realistic in an actual project scenario, since elements in the not started gray state imply that those elements do not exist, then they would not physically support those in the WIP or completed states, yellow and green respectively. Nevertheless, this visualization effectively demonstrates the functionality of this app. Let us examine the current state balance. Visually, there are 9 elements in green and 2 in yellow. We can now compare these numbers with those in the synchronized database for completion that we are opening now. This is the current sync database where all data from Revit is synchronized. Let's assess the balance of deliverables in the OK and WIP states. There are 2 deliverables in the EP state, also called WIP state, and 9 deliverables in the OK state, which matches our initial visual record. Here, the other internally synced tables serve primarily for formatting purposes, ensuring the data is presented in a readable format suitable for dashboarding. Likewise, between the synced database and the dashboard feeder table 4, further analytical databases could be added for statistical modeling such as Markov analysis or Bayesian analysis. In table 4, we observe the current balance, the release curve labeled Q3, the traditional progress curve labeled P3, and the upper limit release curve denoted as Q3'. These release curves may also be referred to as completion curves. Q3 can be understood as the representation of what is ready for delivery, meaning that there is no work in progress, which diametrically differs from traditional progress curves where work in progress is included. Next, we get back to the BIM model and will change the state of a small column from WIP to complete, also called OK, and observe the subsequent outcomes. Visually now, there is only one deliverable in WIP state and 10 deliverables in OK state, and this is what we expect to see in the synced database. Now, we wait until the app automatically syncs the data. Let's see now the recent updated data. Please remember the previous balance we reviewed moments ago. Now, in the synced database, there are now 10 columns in OK state, which means 10 completed columns, and WIP, also called EP, totals only 1 as it appears in the BIM model. In this last table, we see the same balance just before reviewed, but in a dashboard readable format. Again, WIP, also called EP, equals 1, and completion called OK totals 10 in result end period of time, which is the latest recording date. We also can see this balance in the online dashboard by Looker Studio. Here, we see the administrator view. This dashboard never uploads data from an offline feeder data, as it happens in other dashboard solutions, but it is always synced with the online database we showed before. By doing this now, we have a way for real-time assessing completion right from the site through BIM Model and the BIM Analytics app, potentially allowing us to operate data in the cloud using statistical modeling, which goes far beyond simply dashboarding values. Make a leap to BIM Analytics and get ahead of the curve.